Today we're going to be going over the first day of our multi-day lesson plan on Macintosh computers. And obviously we're going to be covering the basics for using a Macintosh computer. This is just a little bit about who we are at the SDM Foundation.
If you'd like to know more, please visit us at sdmfoundation.org.
This is a little bit about what we're going to be doing this week. Day 1 is mostly going to be about the desktop and operating system basics. Day 2, we're going to go over Finder, a very important and useful program exclusive to Mac computers. And on day 3, we're going to go over settings, system preferences, and the Apple ID. And on day 4, we're going to go over Apple-specific applications that come preloaded on your Mac computer. What you need to know about the desktop. The desktop is the initial screen that you see when you log in. So after you turn on your computer, enter your password, and then right after that, the next screen that you see is the desktop. One way to look at it is your home base, as well as a place for shortcuts and files that you need quick access to. It has a few different means of navigating your Mac, the menu bar, the dock, as well as spotlight search. Being able to identify what's on the dock is important to know what you have quick access to, what you may want to keep on the dock or remove from it, another point here on the list. The dock also will identify what has been recently used and what's currently open, whether it's minimized or not. And lastly, using Launchpad, which is one application on the dock which will take you to a place to launch other applications. So down here along this bottom picture is an example of a dock. This would be Finder, Launchpad, just because we've mentioned those. And you see these white dots under a few different applications or programs represent the fact that those are currently running, meaning that they're open. There's a window of it, or it's running in the background. It is being used on your computer. And another way that you can see that is over here on the right side of the dock, the far right, we have the calendar, which is represented by the calendar symbol on the dock, which has a white dot under it, meaning that it's currently open. But this little area here is how you know when a program is minimized. So in the top left of Mac Windows, there are 3 buttons, red, yellow, and green. Red has an X, yellow has a line, and then green has like 2 triangles in the corners. Green will expand it to make it full screen, yellow will minimize it, which puts it down here off of the screen but keeps it running. And then the red X is how you close it. And sometimes that will close the window but not the whole program. And that's how you can tell by these white dots. So you might close a window of, say, Google Chrome, but it says it's still running, and that's because it is still running, there's just not an active window. That's when you would need to quit out of Google Chrome. And the way that you would quit out of Google Chrome is from the Apple menu. One of the things that you need to know. Here are a few of the other ones. How About This Mac works, what is going on with your current storage, how much space you have left, where that space that's being taken up is allocated, where you find updates for your computer. You'll also be able to find keyboard shortcuts when navigating those menus. And Spotlight Search, a very useful feature on the Mac computers. Alright, and now we're going to get into a live example of that. Okay, so since what I led off with was quitting Chrome as an example, right here I just minimized Chrome. Let me bring it back up and do that again. So I clicked on the yellow with the dash in it, which then minimized it and sent it down here into the bottom right corner, which is the minimized area. This area is recently used. They're not open. As you can see, there's no dot under them. In this case, they're a black dot, but it's the same meaning as the previous example. And then between these two lines where the official doc ends here and where the minimized aspect of the dock furthest to the right starts here, in between those lines is recently used applications, just another way to access them quickly. Alright, so to finish off my point about closing Chrome, I minimized it here, but if I were to close it with the X, which I'm not going to do right now, oftentimes it would still be running. So let's say I did that and it's not in the minimized, but it's still running. What you would want to do is quit the program, which is when you go up to the Apple menu, choose Chrome, because that is what will be there if that's what you were last interacting with, and it is in fact still open. You scroll down to the bottom and you would hit quit Google Chrome. This is also a good chance to explain what I meant by keyboard shortcuts, and they are on the right hand side of the Apple menu when applicable. So as you can see here, down at the bottom on the right, so we're on quit Google Chrome, which is what we have on the left, and then over here on the right it's a little symbol and a Q, and this little symbol is the command button, which should be on all Mac computers and keyboards. So if you look down to your keyboard, to the left of space should be a command button, actually on both sides of space, and they have that little symbol in the corner, and whenever you see that symbol, it means the command button. So Command Q would quit the application. You can hide Google Chrome with Command H. It's a shortcut for clearing your browsing data, which would be up arrow, command, backspace. There are various different keyboard shortcuts for all sorts of things. Okay, so one very important thing to understand, especially for new Mac users, is about this Mac. So from the Apple menu, this is what it will look like by default. So right now we're not in any programs. Google Chrome is not considered what we're still in. So this is what it should be like when you first log into your desktop. And Finder, it will be the default program because it's something that can never be closed. It's always running. We also have about this Mac right here in the Apple menu, the first item under the Apple. And about this Mac is going to give us a good amount of information about our current computer. So this is some of the specifications of the computer that I'm on. And this would show you the same information about your computer if you went here as well. This will give you a check to see if you have any software updates. Do a little check. You're also able to arrange multiple display setups, so like a dual monitor setup from displays, as well as customize your current display size, things like that. And our Mac is up to date. A very important aspect about this Mac is storage. And storage will show you how much available space you have on your hard drive, as well as any other storage devices connected to your computer. And right now it's calculating the allocation of the space that's already taken up, right? So we have 23 gigs, that's the iCloud drive, about 15 gigabytes, GB stands for gigabytes, for the system and, system operations, and then a huge chunk of other. But that's actually starting to be categorized as well. So this would look like various colors, letting you know what is taking up the most space. About this Mac can also show you your current RAM, can take you to support and services as well. Next we have search, specifically Spotlight search. And we're going to go over what it searches, what the results look like, how to open items, and how to locate the items. Alright. So to find Spotlight search, we're going to go up to the top Apple menu, but instead of being on the left side this time, we're going to be over on the right. And here you can see a magnifying glass, and that is the symbol for searching universally for the most part. And here it will open up Spotlight search. So as you can see, when I press on it, Spotlight search pops up, a bar in the middle of my screen, and it will search the device as well as any accounts that the device knows it's tied to, all of which is customizable in System Preferences under Spotlight, which, as you can see here, gives you a list of things that you do or do not want to appear in the search results during your Spotlight searches. Or the web. So if I type in chess, for example, it starts to give me some relevant options. So the first thing that comes up is chess.app, which means that there is an application file already existing on my computer for chess. So if I were to click on this, it would open up the chess application. As you can see, it's bouncing down here in our little recently opened area, and as you can see, it's got the black dot meaning it's open. So now I'm in a game of chess, and I will close that out from the top left. Okay. Right. So with this same result, we also have Chess Online, something that is found in the Apple App Store. So the first thing it's going to search for is something that's already on the computer, like a file or an application, such as in this case. Then it will search for things closely related to, being directly on the computer, like something that could easily be added through their app store. There's a little bit of incentive for them to highlight an app from the app store. So this next section of guesses will help you further narrow your search. So it's taking a guess that maybe I'm looking for the Cheesecake Factory. Maybe it knows that I want to do chess online, or specifically looking up a chess board if I want to look up chess in Google Chrome. So if I choose chess, it will then get even more specific, knowing that that's what I'm looking for. It would change the results a little bit. It also offers me the definition of the word that I'm looking up. Also within mail and messages of the accounts that I have tied to the computer, it's checking those for anything related to chess, as well as any documents that might have the word chess in it or something similar that they're thinking I'm searching for. And something important to note is that you can tell where it's searching, or where a certain result might be found by the little gray titles above the results. So like here, for instance, it says mail and messages, which means that this result is in most likely mail because of the little symbol here, not messages. But the idea there is that it will let you know exactly where and what it is your results are. So I could search the web, search in Finder. These files under documents have the potential to have something related to chess on them. Siri suggested websites for chess. Just general knowledge about chess from Siri. So we have these in the developer area, and this is found in other. So this is just a very useful tool. Let's see, if we were to look up Scratch, it's going to show us that we have the desktop app ready to go. It also can take us right to Scratch website. It has some other guesses here, like if you want to set the level of Scratch that you want to work with, intermediate or beginner, or if you were potentially looking for something different, like a scratchy throat, scratched cornea, as well as Siri suggestions again, definition of what a scratch is, just a literal scratch. Some things in our calendars, because we do Scratch lessons. Once again, it's an app in the App Store. So hopefully you get the idea. This is a very useful tool and something that any Mac user, especially new Mac users, should get used to using to get the most out of their new machine. Alright, and up next, this is just another example of what it would look like, or where it is. This magnifying glass in the top right of your screen will open up the Spotlight search bar. Alright, next up we're going to be talking about notifications, where they are, what to do about them, and how to set up notifications to your specific needs. Okay, and to utilize our Spotlight search feature, we're going to get to notifications through that. So if I just type in notifications, the first entry here is notifications on the computer. So it's going to take me into that settings area specifically. So as you can see here, it says the notification center shows your alerts in the upper right of your screen without interrupting what you're doing, show and hide notification center by clicking the clock in the menu bar. So if we click here, we get the notification menu. So you can edit this and customize this to be however you want. The notification center allows you to allow or disallow notifications for certain applications and programs that you're running, as well as what type of or what style of notifications that you will receive if you choose to. So for instance, under calendar, we currently do allow notifications and we allow alerts. You can choose none, which would obviously be no notifications. Banner, which means it will appear in the top right and go away automatically, or go into the notification center on its own. Or alerts, which will stay on screen until you manually dismiss them or interact with it. You're also able to determine if you'd like to see notifications on the lock screen, meaning while your computer has your passcode or password that you need to enter to get back to your desktop. Show in the notification center, which means, for example, those banners, once they're dismissed, if this is off, they will not be in the notification center, but if this is on, they will indeed stay there. The badge app icon, which is a red number on the app icon increasing for each notification. And whether you want a sound for the notification or not. And then you can determine if you'd like to see previews or not, which can be useful in terms of privacy. Like if you do want to see alerts on your lock screen, but you don't want anyone to potentially see some information about a meeting you have or something like that. If it's on the lock screen, then you can change it to never show previews, or only show previews when unlocked, so you don't have to go all the way in to see what it is. There's various different settings that you can change to meet your needs specifically. And grouping the notifications together, you can have your computer just decide automatically how to group them. You can have it do it by app, or just turn the grouping off. And that was our live example. And this is something that I would really like to drive home, which is that your desktop should become the screen you are the most familiarized with and comfortable navigating, your starting point to any task. And if you can understand and utilize your desktop, then you will be in a much better place than you were before. If you are someone that feels a bit uneasy, confused, or scared when it comes to using computers, getting that one aspect down fully will help you branch out into further aspects of using a computer, because having a sense of home base that makes you feel comfortable, that you do understand, is really a game changer in terms of moving forward and learning new things. And here's a quick summary, a little bit about what we will be doing in the next lesson. This is where we would ask for questions. And thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for our upcoming videos, one of which will be the next video in this lesson series.